The whole salary and saving 50% and you wanting free time. But I don't know if you can just expand on it. You spoke about a change in mindset in terms of what to avoid. That's what you actually seek out versus what people want, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, just expand on that.
Yeah, so actually there is an entrepreneur called Jason Friend. He's the one who founded Basecamp. I'm not sure if you're aware. It's a really great product. We actually use it for managing projects here in Grocery. But basically, there's this school of thinking where so much of how we think is driven by what we want to get. So it's like, I want to get a fancy car. I want to get that new BMW. I'm not sure what you're driving these days, but I want to get that nicer apartment with the sea view. I want to get that raise, etc. And that's why people work super hard. Their work life is terrible. They put up with terrible bosses, and basically just creates lots of stress, impacts their relationships, etc. And then basically there's a way to reframe it, kind of, as I've gotten I don't like to say older, but maybe a little bit wiser. Yeah, I like to, it's more being optimized, I found the better way to approach it is think about things you want to avoid or things you really don't like, and build that into your decision making. So like, if I was to really think about it, things that really cause me a lot of stress. So rather than me wanting to get the biggest salary, what adds more value to me is not having a boss, for example, because I know that's something that causes a lot of stress to me. Something for me, avoid something to avoid, for example, is having to work monthly for a salary just to keep up with payments, etc. That's where the 50% comes in. People like when they go gym and stuff, they always focus on like, I want to get to my muscles being this big or put on this much weight, etc. When I exercise now, I just focus on preventing injury. So I like just make sure, improve flexibility, that as I get older, I don't injure myself, etc. And that change in mindset, it really is a big part. I think I'm a lot calmer these days, but also I think it makes life a lot more fulfilling, because rather than chasing, these goals which are often, completely unrealistic, like I want to be, or not necessarily unrealistic, but stuff that you don't even have a lot of personal control over, like I want to be, I want to be the next billionaire, or I want this job where I know there are 4 other people who have just as much chance of getting it, and it's just a roll of the dice, and making my whole self-worth and my emotion and all of that based around that. I'm more about, listen, I want to, what makes me happiest is if I don't have to report into anyone. So I'd like to work for myself. I'd like to have the freedom to do whatever I want, which means I need X amount of savings, which means I need to save this amount X month. And even if you can't do that immediately, like I was saying, the fact I was managing to save 50% each month was kind of refreshing for me mentally, because I knew, hey, it's been a tough month, but hey, it means another month of freedom. So that's just something, an approach I recommend to, just approaching life in general.